What if your CBD and THC didn't come from cannabis, but it came from citrus? Well, I'm here at Startup Fest 2025 in Montreal, Canada, and I'm speaking to Kareem, the founder of Kare Chemical Technologies, a biotech firm that has somehow figured out how to take citrus waste and turn it into pharmacy-grade CBD and THCs. They've had to mortgage their house to pay to make this company go, and actually they're really trying to become a pharmaceutical company that treats pain and epilepsy and a whole bunch of other things in a less controversial way, let's say. Love to hear what you think about this technology. It's pretty fascinating conversation. Over to you, Kareem.
Hey, Kareem, thanks for joining us. Why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name's Kareem, and I'm the founder of Kare Chemical Technologies. And we developed a process to make cannabinoids from orange peels. So think CBD, THC, but instead of extracting from illicit, legally obscure, or stigmatized plants like hemp and cannabis, we can make it synthetically from orange peel waste.
What? How is that? How can you? Did people know this for a really long time, and you just were like,
I don't think so, especially
Okay.
not generally.
Yeah.
But we saw the structure of the orange peel waste chemically,
Yeah.
and it's a piece of CBD structure and THC structure.
no kidding.
So we built it like Lego from there, and so it was just a really good starting material to work with. That is also green because we're taking a waste product and turning it into something more valuable and much more effective and useful for people.
Is the I don't even know which question to ask first. Is it how do you like? It's biotechnology, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to like? How much work is it to build on the thing to make it that? From the core thing to a
About 10 steps total, including like some of the purification and stuff. But it can be done in a week if you're starting from limonene, which comes from the orange peel. But from our precursor, which we can make in stock and has like a several year shelf life, you can basically make that on demand and then just transform it into pharma-grade CBD, which is a white crystalline solid. And it's used pharmaceutically under the brand name Epidiolex to treat epilepsy, which is what my cousin had and why we got started.
Cool. Get to that in just a second. That's
Okay.
fascinating. I'm asking a couple more nerd questions.
Okay.
How long did it take to figure out the sequence of things that you need to do? And is it like your PhD or master's in orange transformation?
Something like that.
Okay.
I have a master's. My dad has a PhD, and we did this together
Okay.
as a team. He was trying to work on this since 2012 when my cousin was initially diagnosed, and the data was there for CBD to do this, like 300 seizures per day to less than 1 per week under treatment. But it was illegal. And so we didn't actually, even though he was like looking at it, we didn't actually get started until about 2018. And then we started putting the pieces together, got a license, and we already had the thought process together by the time we had our license. So once we had our license, we made CBD, and then the next day we made THC.
What's license?
The like drug license to work
License.
with
I thought you said
compounds like
license.
this.
Like, is that a technology? I see. You developed the output, and then you needed a license, or you needed a license to develop the final step kind of thing.
Yeah, so we had the recipe, so to speak, that
Yeah.
we thought would work and had high confidence in. We just couldn't do the last step until we had the legal like clearance to do it.
What is the last step?
So we kind of make our precursor,
Yeah.
which is the structure, the backbone of that entire CBD molecule.
Yeah.
And then we have a step where we exchange one group for a 5-carbon tail, which is the last piece to add to CBD.
Right.
So we kind of say it's pin the tail on the donkey is the last step, and there we go.
And you needed a license to do that?
Well, to make CBD because it's a controlled substance. So the license was to make that final product, but up until then we just had chemicals.
Yeah.
But then one chemical has a restriction.
What just for my edification, I'm not a biochemist. What does failure look like? It just all falls apart, and you're like, I guess we got to start again.
Kind of. We were already successful in making CBD, so that's an ongoing process. We licensed that to pharma manufacturers. We gave them the recipe, so to speak.
Okay.
And they pay us royalties on sales.
Right.
So one of our licensees, they're a pharma manufacturer, and they produce this for pharma companies. And it's a medicine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and you did this for your brother?
My cousin,
Your
my
cousin.
dad's niece.
Your dad's niece.
Yeah.
And have you tested it on them yet?
No.
Not
So the medicine's available, and so they can get the medicine.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it won't be direct from our lab. Our lab's
I
also
see.
not qualified for human consumption,
Got it.
but it will be the same process replicated in a
Industrial,
appropriate plant.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see. So, like, how do you? I guess one question is why the fact that that like basically the marijuana plant is just now legal.
Yeah.
Did that mess with anything?
Not really.
No?
It's legal in Canada. It's ambiguous in the States. It's state by state in different countries.
Yeah.
But if you want pharma grade quality product, like the CBD we make doesn't have a smell, it doesn't have a taste.
Right.
Because CBD doesn't have those.
Yeah.
It's the terpenes, the smell, the flavonoids, and everything else that's from cannabis. That's what is trailing in there. And you need to quantify that, check their toxicity and all that for pharma, which makes it elusively expensive. With our process, it's cheap.
But is it the case that like if you find some good seeds, I'm just making this up, in the markets, like when those markets eventually come around, 5, 10, 15 years, whenever they happen to come around, and you just find a good sort of root plant in the THC land, does that then obviate?
Not really.
No.
The pharma grade purity is being done. It's currently, like Epidiolex is currently made by hemp extraction, but it's difficult, tedious purification.
Harder than what you're doing?
Very much.
That's messed up.
And so we're taking a citrus byproduct and doing it. Also, if more children, or like if it gets approved in another country, they have to increase demand and supply.
Yeah.
And so to meet that, they have to plant more product, extract more, and it's not a linear process because the extraction facilities can only do so much at a time.
Yeah.
So you may need to make more facilities. With our process, we can do 50 kilo batches and do that continuously. So if you need to increase or drop demand, you can do that without planting more farms or greenhouses or cutting them. And so it's a shorter process, cheaper process, and higher grade purity for less effort.
And to get to the actual go to market phase, was this all like grants and that kind of stuff? Like, did you have any external capital?
So my dad actually believed in this. It was a family member. He's been working in pharma and developing processes for pharma before.
Yeah.
But with this, he sold his home and we had the startup cash to do this. We were pitching the idea, no one believed in us. But lo and behold, that gave us enough cash. And then when the technology in hand and proof that we could make the products, we licensed it and we're revenue positive.
I want to get to that in a second. He sold his home?
Yeah.
Like there's no other way to get money?
We were talking to some people and they were like, well, look at what Canopy raised. Look what Cronus raised. Ginkgo Bioworks was paid $100 million to develop this process. Yeah. You need a couple $1 million to do this. And you think you can compete with them when they raise $100 million. You're not asking for enough. And we're not giving you that much money.
Right.
And so
you're not asking for enough, we won't give it to you anyway.
Yeah. And so literally some rooms we were laughed at before the door closed. Like they were just like, no, we're not doing this. And as we're walking out, we can hear the snickering and then you hear the commotion after and they're laughing. But well, they invested in other places, not in us. And so here we are.
That's really fucking risky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was enough money to get you where you needed.
We had some friends and family come on board. Okay. But yeah, it was
What does
enough.
The money used for? Like, why did you need the money?
So the developing the process, buying the chemicals, spending our time to do it.
That's not, forgive me but there's no university, federal government, provincial government grants that come in. Isn't that the kind of the point? In
doing it for cannabis research, because they always associate you with that, even though we're on the pharma side. There's been better education today, and so it's opening, but historically it's, this is for cannabis products. And we're like, no, this is for pharma. And they're like, but you're making cannabis products. And we're like, yes, but for pharma. And so there's core, a stigma at the legal level in government for the grants and stuff. They're discussing it now, but even some of the Canadian business organizations that deploy grants and funding, they're like, it's their scrutiny, and even though legally it's different, their systems haven't changed, so their systems still have restrictions.
There's no button. There's a THC button.
Yeah, well, literally, our website says CBD, and our website gets blocked, and because it's blocked on their computers, they can't process our loan.
Yeah, it reminds me of like when payment processors wouldn't take payments for CBD or for THC stuff. They're like, we don't want to be associated with that whole industry, even though it's like, but it's legal.
So there's a delay.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Why did you choose like to license?
So we
versus build your own product.
So we initially wanted to build our own plant and do all that. And with the success, we thought raising $30 million to build out a pharmaceutical facility, GMP, pharma grade output, do all that, staff it, we could achieve that. But we were successful late 2019. We did some licensing because one company approached us, and then we were gonna go for it in 2020, and 2020 happened.
Yeah.
And so then it became, okay, let's get through COVID. Let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
We did a few more licenses, and we're like, okay, well, we can be revenue positive without the massive capex. And the real goal of what we're doing is pharma development, clinical new medicines. And so why now take 30 million bucks to build a facility when we can very well spend that 30 million in clinical and potentially have new drug assets that can really change people's lives instead of having a nice building.
So interesting. So is the idea that well, you're about to tell me that you're about to raise money, but is the idea that you are getting revenue from that funds the drug development, but it's not
Yeah.
enough money?
Yeah.
Is that the idea?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. Well, maybe not yet.
If we raise money, why build a plant to sell product when we could spend that same money to develop a drug?
Right.
That would be far more valuable, far more return for the investors and ourselves. And also you change the world. You make a new medicine that's currently not available.
But it's another it's another risk, right?
Yeah.
You go through the whole drug.
Another raise
development
and a different type of risk.
Exactly.
Different investors, but a different business as
Yeah.
well.
So like, right. So you're happy with the licensing thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bring in enough money to do drug development. Is that
We've been reinvesting our revenue for it.
okay?
But to go faster and because of the breadth of compounds that we can make and the different indications we can go after, it would be more appropriate to raise funding to really propel it with the efficiency and intense capital that it's going to need to make it happen in a few years instead of we can take a decade and do the same thing. But it wouldn't take us a decade, but if you can do it in 3 to 5 years and get all the way, it's better to do that and move.
And where are the people that you're licensing the drug to, the chemical to, or
The process.
technology? Are they also developing drugs potentially with it?
Not with our technology. I know some of them are developing their own assets.
Yeah.
But they have licenses to make and produce to sell to others, and then we get royalties, or they have specific compounds that they can make. So there's restrictions in how they can utilize the technology. But
That you give them,
yeah.
because,
But we want to
because you
enable-
want to
Yeah.
use those things.
Yeah,
Use
so we
those-
plan to do it for our own drug discovery, but some clients, for example, they had their own drugs that were modeled after CBD and THC, but their yield was very low.
I see.
With us, we got over 25 times yield based on our process. And so we're not going to restrict them from making their own products that they were already doing.
Yeah.
But we're happy with them using it so they can make the drugs to make people's lives better.
Do you worry about enforceability on that kind of stuff? Is that a thing? Because they're usually bigger companies that license from you.
Yeah.
So
It's always a concern.
Yeah.
That's business.
Yeah.
And that's the price of doing business.
Yeah.
We have a lot of patents and we have very strong patents. And in addition to that, because we're in the drug market, so to speak, even pharma companies, legalized drug dealers is really what pharma is.
Yeah.
And so there's lots of requirements, there's lots of publishing, and there's the DEA in America and similar in Canada that overlook everything. Yeah. And so if they're crossing lines, we can make a phone call to the FDA or DEA on, as the case may be, and say, hey, these people are using our technology for quote unquote illicit purposes because we aren't allowing them to do this.
Right.
And or you just take them to court. But
Yeah.
for them to get their drug licenses to do what they're doing and making medicines, they would have to publish what they're doing. So we would know they can't just hide it in the back room because at the end of the day, these products are being consumed by people. So people need to have transparency there.
So I want to get to this drug development stuff in 1 second, but you are, so to get to the point you are today where you're licensing this technology,
Yeah.
you basically relied on the mortgage.
House sale.
House sale,
Yeah.
sorry. And there was no other source of revenue from
A
there.
few friends and family, but
like
for the most part, like it was us and the people
are
that
we
said
talking like $1 million?
sub 1 million. Yeah.
Sub 1 million. Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the kind of money you're looking for now is drug development money.
Yeah.
Like
So we're thinking like 5 to 10 million.
Okay.
And that's to develop things in pain without psychoactivity for
Nice.
solving the opioid crisis, as well as we have assets that are actually similar to THC, hitting those receptors, but opposite of THC, reducing appetite instead of increasing it, which could very well be an obesity metric.
Oh, interesting.
So that's kind of two of the lead things that we have at the moment.
Yeah.
And so to really get those to market, we think outside capital to really push this is going to make it happen.
So you're at a tech conference.
Yeah.
Are these tech investors really that you go after for this? Or are these like different kinds of investors?
Not really, but
Yeah.
we're in Montreal. And so I had some pharma's decent in Montreal.
Okay.
It's one of Canada's hubs, so to speak. And so there were some people I needed to meet here. There were some advisors who are, and actually one of the investors at Startup Fest, their sister was an ex-executive at Pfizer. So I came here to meet her and a few others and really like give them updates, but have those in-person meetings because you can have so much better just conversation with someone in person. So all of the above.
Is there something about like, can you do something as you're doing this the drug development process takes a really long time. So once you have the money and the clock starts, you're talking about years and years and years of all the different trials you need to go through. Is there more you can do with the IP that you created that's not just licensing it to other people, like other innovations you can use this for that can generate more revenue for you?
Yeah. So part of it is the licensing, which we're already doing that generates current revenue.
Yeah.
There's also the clinical development that we're doing internally and other people's clinical development, which will bring royalties if they're successful. Yeah. And then there has been a lot of interest in us doing the nutraceutical route, which we don't want to do personally.
Which one?
Nutraceutical.
What's a nutraceutical?
I'm not sure if it means nutritional pharmaceutical or something like that, but essentially wellness products.
Yeah.
So a Shoppers Drug Mart or a similar could take, say, a THCV, which is known to be opposite of THC. It causes weight loss instead of appetite increase.
Okay.
And so people could take that and lose weight.
Right.
CBD, lowering inflammation and calming people down. Even THC, people use it for chronic pain.
Yes.
And so there's ways of using these in a more medicinal way without necessarily going I'm going to have fun with this and whatever. Like a proper, more, I need some balance in my life and this can help, but not on a drug level with the clinical.
Yeah.
And so that because it's cannabis in Canada is legal and edibles are, there would be an opening for that, which not our personal interest, but if other people want to do that, utilizing our technology to make pure products so people get accurate dosage and purity without scrutiny, that could
Are you actively selling? Like, you're building, I know you're pitching to do the drug development. Are you actively finding potential customers for the IP? I don't know.
On the wellness side, there's someone that's very interested that I've had discussions with, but they said they're going to come to me with a plan.
No, I meant, are you as a team actively trying to find many different uses for the technology that you already built?
To an extent, we're just kind of like focused on the clinical.
Okay.
But when ideas and people come to us that say, hey, we would like to use this for this reason, it's a business case, and if it makes sense, it makes sense.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, listen, I don't want to stop you from your pitch. So where do people find out more about your company on the internet?
They can reach out to me on LinkedIn, Kareem Abdur-Rashid. We also have a LinkedIn page for the company, Kare Chemical Technologies, or just through our website, carechem.com.
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 Awesome.
And with a K. Care with a K.
Oh,
and through that, our email system and so on.
Awesome.
But happy to talk to people that are interested.
That's great. Well, thanks for making the time and break a leg at the pitch today.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you for the time as well.
No problem.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my newsletter in the description below, and see you next time.